I've already established that. I'm jealous. Nini, thanks for being here.
Thank you. I'm really flattered, but thanks. I don't have to introduce myself. I guess he already said a lot, to be honest. I'm just going to begin by saying this is one of my books. It's called I Must Succeed. I wrote this book when my mom was in the hospital, and she was in the hospital for like 6 months. And she was in the hospital for like 6 months. So while she was in the hospital, I was working on this book. And I published this book in 2022. But that being said, I am from Somalia, but I was raised in Kenya. When I was in Kenya, I been through a refugee camp that's called Kakuma Refugee Camp. The refugee camp, obviously, many of you guys probably heard of the story of the refugee camps. You probably work with the students that have been in the refugee camps. So it's just, I'm just rewiring that in your brain as well as I speak. The refugee camp is very difficult for any immigrants that go through that process, because what happens is you literally are taken from living in the society with everybody else to in a refugee camp where it's like a gated area, and you don't really go anywhere else and stay there. You get food, you get your water, and you just stay there. I lived in a refugee camp for 4 years. We were supposed to come to the United States in 2002. All my friends left, everybody left, but I didn't end up coming here until 2006. In a refugee camp, I learned that to be tough, because you face a lot of hardship. Water is a big one. Food, I'm pretty sure you guys heard of it. Food, water, medicine, all the basic needs that we have today, and many of us, I don't know about you guys, but we take it for granted. But there are people out there, like me once I was there, that I needed that. And I always said to myself, when I get to United States, I'm going to work so hard, and I'm going to help my people, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. I always told myself that. But my father had a different mindset of me, because I was not a good kid in the refugee camp. I had to do what I can to survive. So I would go in hunting and causing problems and all that stuff, just like a normal kid would do even here. But here is, it's worse. Because here you got access to guns, drugs, you name it. And you are in jail if you do those kind of things. Over there, we don't have access to those things, so thank God. Arriving in the United States, I started at the Shawnee High School. I was a freshman, and I'm 13, 14 years old. When I first went to that school, before we went to school, it was like June when I came, and August the school started. I got a backpack. I'm so excited. I can't wait to finally experience what the American schools look like or feel like, and the students. So I went to Shawnee High School. This was when they first began the Newcomer Academy. It wasn't called Newcomer, it was just a regular Shawnee High School. And I was just there with everybody else. When I got to that school, I'm looking at everybody. I asked my teacher, am I at the right school? Because everybody's big. They all huge. A kid, I would have talked to some of the kids that in the cafeteria. I didn't speak English, but I would have talked to some immigrants that spoke English at that time, and I would ask them, are they kids? Because do you got kids that are like 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds? They got beard. They are big. And I'm just a tiny. So when I went home, I told my dad, I think you took me to the right to the wrong school, Dad. I need to go to the right school. He said, forget about who's studying with you. Just go there and just study. That's all you're there for. So I took his advice, and I just never questioned after that. I went to the school, and when I was in a school, most people, when I tell this, they don't believe that. I had the determination to study. And that's what the difference is with the students. Not everybody wants to study. I wanted to study. And not everybody wants to be at the school. I wanted to be at the school. So everything that I have done, I wanted to do it. And when I went to school, like, I even get emotional when I stand here and speak about it, because I didn't speak English. Not only that, I could not read and write whatsoever. Like, you would write a sentences that says, what's your name? I will just stare at it, and I will not know. So being like that, everybody around me like, oh yeah, you can't read, oh you can't write. I would get jealous when people tell me that. One of the things that changed my whole perspective of going to school and educating myself was, I was at my house. There was a letter sent to my dad. This was like 4 months in a school, and there was a letter sent to my dad. And my dad brought the letter to me, and he said, Nini, can you read this for us? And I'm the oldest in my house. Everybody else is younger than me. So I'm looking at the letter, I'm staring at my dad, and I'm staring at the letter. I don't know what the letter says. I went, Dad, let me come back. I went to one of my neighbors. He was there before me, so he spoke English. I said, hey, can you please read this letter for me and explain it to me so I can go and explain it to my dad? And he spoke English, but he doesn't know how to translate it. He looked at the letter and he read it. He just looked at me like, I don't know what it says, but I can't read it. And I'm thinking to myself, how do you know how to read, but you can't translate it in your language? So that was a wake up for me. So I told myself, every single time I read something, I have to know what it means. So I went to my dad. I told him, Dad, I don't know what this letter says. You may have to take it to Kentucky Refugee KRM, because they brought us here. Let them explain this to us. So my dad, that day he told me, you are dumb. I knew you wasn't gonna be anything. Oh, like he made me, because our parents is like, we are like, what is it called? Like pushed to be good, to be like just know stuff, the English language. And my dad knows that I was already a troublemaker in Kenya, so his mind is already saying, oh, he's just gonna be like that again here. So, and I'm telling myself I gotta prove him wrong. So my only motivation was, I gotta prove my dad wrong. I gotta show him that I'm a good kid. I gotta show him that I'm gonna make him feel, be proud of me. So growing up, I always told myself, my time will come. And going to school, every single day, the teachers give me work. I would go to Americana Community Center. I don't know if you guys familiar with that. I would go there. I would have students that were coming from Sacred Heart or Assumption, and they like ACE students. They would come and help me, and I would ask them, are you guys in college? They're like, they will say, no, we go to school, we are in high school. You in high school? I'm in high school and you helping me? So I would get like motivated about that. And I would tell myself, I need to do this one day. I need to be able to help students like me one day. Having that motivation left Shawnee After the first year ended, I went to Wagner High School. Mind you, Shawnee didn't have a soccer program at that time. I think they do now. But at that time, Shawnee High School didn't have a soccer program. And I was itching to play soccer. So I was itching to play soccer. I told every teacher at the school, I told, do we play soccer here? They said, no, there is no soccer here. You're gonna have to wait until you get transferred to a different school. So I'm telling myself, we go to a different school? They say, yeah, because this is just to begin with you. Like they had a little, I think it was like downstairs where all these ESL students will be there, everybody, and everybody else, like the American student will be like upstairs or something like that. So we were in the basement or something. And then everybody else was like, so when we mixed up, it was like, oh wow, this is American student. Look what they look like. Look how they're walking. Look. So, and another amazing thing for me was the bus. I could not wait to ride that bus.
That's very fast.
Every morning, I'm waking up all my brothers and sisters. Let's go. It's time to go to the bus. So I would go in the bus, sitting in the back, and I had this little DVD player thing and this little headphone, just sitting in the middle, just listening to music and stuff, and just excited to be on the bus. So right now, when I look at the students that are coming up right now, I look at them, I say, you guys don't know how much opportunity you guys have. All these teachers providing you with all these resources. There is a lot of community centers available. There is soccer everywhere now in Louisville.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Like you got Louisville City has a bunch of fields you can just go and get a ball and just kick the ball around. There is parks that are like, they have turf being built. I didn't even have that when I was growing up in Louisville. So at Wagner, I started playing soccer. I'm sophomore in high school. And that is when I met Dr. Anderson. And one of my other teachers, the only two teachers that I remember in high school is Dr. Anderson and Coach Schultz. He retired now. He makes chairs and stuff for business. Yeah, the chairs. We had I remember because he was already doing the chair business while we were in the school, so he would take us to his place. You guys didn't do well at the game. It's time to help me make chairs. Easy.
No, that's not.
Okay.
At that time, I didn't understand that. I'm like, okay, this is our punishment. We got to do this. So we would make chairs for Coach Schultz. And that taught me a lot. Another thing I learned from Coach Schultz was every single time we had a soccer game, he would have a Pepsi drink. And mind you, I don't know anything about Pepsi. The only thing I know is Coca-Cola, because that's what they market to us in Africa. Coca-Cola, everywhere you go. Pepsi is just another drink for me. So we were playing soccer. Every single time we playing in a game, Coach Schultz is sitting there with his Pepsi drink, and he's just drinking it. I'm in a game. I'm always looking at, what is he drinking? Every single time I come up to him, Coach, what is this drink? He says, this is Pepsi. Pepsi, what does it do to you? Because you drink it every single day. Can I try it? He says, no, this is not good for you if you're playing soccer. So how is it, if it's not good for me, how is it good for you? Something must be hitting in that Pepsi. I need to try it. So when I went to college, I'm telling you, I was drinking Pepsi like it was nothing. My coach from college used to say, Nini, how are you running like this? you just had 2 cups of Pepsi drinks. And I guess when I drink the Pepsi, I get full of energy, just running all over the places, kicking the ball, kicking people, all kinds of stuff. Then I realized I gotta stop drinking this drink. I ended up quitting it. But when I went to Wagner in the school, this is when I say teachers matter. Every person in a school matters. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be the janitor. You could be the substitute teacher just stopping by. It doesn't matter. Everybody in the school matters for the students. The reason why I say that is because we always say it takes a village to raise a child. It's the same way with the school. It takes the whole teachers. It don't matter who my teacher is. It takes everybody in that school to educate that child in that school. And when I was in a school, I looked at everybody as like my teachers. When we had the football coach, I don't even play football. He would have come and talked to me. I'm listening to him as if he was my teacher. So whatever industry you are in the school, just know that anything you say to a students, they taking it very, very seriously. And again, not every student is gonna be a superhero like us.
It was like that.
That's just the reality. I know I grew up with a lot of people that right now when they see me, they say, Nini, how did you stand in front of people speaking like this? I didn't even know I was gonna be here. So again, anything that you guys are doing at the school matters. And there's another thing I want to say is one teacher can make a huge difference in a student's life, and that I am an example of that. So one day we had a soccer game at the school. This was I will say the first season of Wagner that I'm starting Wagner. We went to play. It was a friendly match. It was like a tournament. We went to Bluegrass, Lexington. So, mind you, Wagner High School at that time, at the soccer team, it was all Africans in the team. We only had 2 white kids and maybe 1 Spanish kid. Everybody else, it was just Africans. So when we went to play at Lexington, we played. I will never forget this school name. I thought that name was like a person's name at first until I started looking it up. The school name was Eastern Jasmine. I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's called Eastern Jasmine, something like that. And I don't know if it's in Lexington or in Bowling Green, but it's somewhere in that area. So this is school. The students at that school pulled up in a Greyhound bus.
Great.
We pulled up in a school bus. They pulled up in a Greyhound. I'm looking at them, I'm saying, wait, is this college students or this is high school students? We were playing against these kids and their parents they packed the whole field. When you look at the other side of us, there was nobody. I'm looking around. I had to look at their fans as like if it was my fans. So it was a lot going on. The parents calling us, go back to your country. Because we were so fast, we were fast and dribbling, and I guess the parents they can see some of the kids they can't keep up with this Africans. They're like, oh, go chase lions back in Africa or something like that. And then we're looking at ourselves like, oh, we been bullied out here. So the referee, every single time a foul happens, he calls against us. So we were all furious, mad. I didn't do that. The referee just standing there. And then I'm talking to the coach, Coach Schultz at that time. Coach, we didn't do this. He said, just play the game. Don't worry about it. Play the game. So I ended up getting mad. And I cursed at the referee. They gave me a red card. If you guys know what the red card is like they give you, you go out, you're done. You can't play the next game, you have to wait. When they give me that red card, this is before the season started, my coach pulled me out. He sat me down. He said, Nini, that is, what was the word he used? That is, I forgot. He usually uses that word all the time. That is unacceptable. You should not do that. That is an adult and you should respect that. He's the referee, he's in the game, and he's just speaking to me. And I did not get it at that time. But coach, you're not seeing what he's doing. He's calling all the fouls against us. He said, it does not matter. All you have to do is just play the game. Whatever he calls, he can call it. So I'm looking at the coach, I'm looking at everybody else. But the parents over there are making fun of us. They calling us all kinds of names. And the coach, he's not having every blame that I'm trying to give or I'm trying to speak about. He's just saying, it's you, that's it. So he told me, Nini, before you can play the season games, you need to write a letter to the referee. I said, no way, I'm not doing that. He said, okay, if you're not gonna do that, you're not gonna play.
Then
And that is the hardest thing I ever heard, was that you're not gonna play. I've been itching to play soccer. So now I'm forced to write this letter. I looked at coach, I said, man, you put me on a spot. I gotta decide. This is like my future. I'm about to decide my future here. So I went and wrote the letter. Mind you, I'm thinking, I'm just gonna write the letter and I'm just gonna give it to him and it's done and we were just moving on our life. No, he said, you write the letter and you give it to the referee. And I said, that's going all against my morals. I cannot do that. And at that time you're a kid, so you're trying to toughen up, you're trying to go against everything the teacher says or the coach says. So I had to think about it, and I said, what do I gotta lose? So I'm looking down. I went to the referee. When he was reffing a game that was not our game, they were playing in our field at Wagner. I went up to him. And I give him the letter, and the referee is looking at me like, "Who are you? What is this?" So I said, "Just take it."
perfect.
And then he read the letter. Then he went to my coach. Then he said, "Oh, that's so sweet. He wrote me a letter. No player ever wrote me a letter to apologize to me. I'm getting yelled at every single game." So that letter, when I wrote that letter, I don't know how many times I had to speak about that letter, because that letter changed my entire life of the way I look at people. So from there on, I just started looking at everybody that I just have to respect. Even though as an immigrant, we already taught to respect adults. But when you are a kid and you hanging around with other kids that are doing other things, you lose that. And this is where I speak about behavior issues. Because we as immigrants, our families are expecting us to not misbehave. But when we come to the United States, we see in other kids that are misbehaving, standing up, talking during class. Now we are adapting to that culture. Now we are learning what they are saying.
Hey.
I was too shy to even say the F word to other person. or anything curse words. But the more I'm around, all these kids are saying it. Now I'm like, okay, I'm pretty comfortable on saying this now. Matter of fact, I'm confident in saying this now. So this is what students go through. And teachers, when they come, don't say that. Don't do that. Hey, that's bad. We learn these things from our teachers. But we lose it because we don't even supposed to say that to begin with. We're just saying it because of the people that we are around. And this is what my mom told me. Stop hanging out with American students. Because when you start hanging out with American students, this is what happens. You're going to start smoking, drinking, cursing at people, all these things. Now, I'm not judging all American students are like that, but for them, it was like that. So fast forward, when I was in 11th grade, I started writing my book, The African in America. I don't have the book on me. That's my second book. I Must Succeed is my second book. So The African in America, I wrote it. The African America is just to bridge the gap between African immigrants and African Americans. And I published that book in 2017. When I graduated from college, I done a lot of work to actually be where I am right now. And it's not easy. I'm still working. I'm still trying to figure it out. Just like you guys are. Everybody's still working, trying to figure their life out. So I am like that as well. But I know the future is bright for all of us. And I want to appreciate everybody that's here that give me the time to speak to you guys. I know it's not easy. But with the soccer camp, I started in 2018. I was just trying to help 10 kids. It was just 10 of us, just taking them to the park. And then it became 20, and then it became 30, 40. Then now it's like we have 300 kids coming. I was telling myself, I cannot provide transportation to 300 kids. There is no way. And that is when I reconnected with Dr. Anderson, and they told me about, hey, we able to help you with transportation. I was like, thank God. That's going to save me a lot. So, and transportation, you guys know, is very important in our community. And when that was lifted off of my shoulder, I was like, now I can focus on just working with them. And there was so many kids. They love this camp. It's free for them. They don't have to pay anything. At the end of it, they get celebration. I get jerseys for them. This year, what we done is we hosted a little celebration where like I told them all to wear a suit. What is it called? Like a button-up shirt.
Oh, yeah.
And I said to them, everybody has to come with button-up shirt. And they're like, Nini's trying to make us look like a good students. But it was fun. It was fun. Again, I want to say thank you. Everything that you guys do matters. Every one of you guys are in a school. You are important. We are important, not just at the school, but in the community in general. Because those students, whenever they see you out, they also looking at you. They see you. Some of them are your neighbor kids. They can see. So anything that you do outside of a school matters as well. If you cursing in front of those students, they're going, oh, she was cursing. I seen her. So now she's going to tell me not to curse. Impossible. So thank you. And I am done.